In this case, Lewis versus Travelers Insurance Company, the issue arises if an agent can act on behalf of the principal if they have implied authority. On September 5, 1963, plaintiff William Lewis suffered an inland marine loss which, to his knowledge, was insured by the agents of Travelers Insurance Company John Curran and James Sykes through an oral binder on August 27, 1963. When the application reached Travelers Insurance, they denied the agent's authority to give insurance to Lewis and denied the application, which was dated on September 4th. The application did not reach the agents until September 6th, a day after the fire. Lewis found out that he had lost his coverage, which he had believed was already insured by the agents. In return, he sued both the agents and Travelers Insurance for the amount of the loss. Travelers contended that the agents should reimburse Lewis for the loss since they acted without authority to bind inland marine coverage.
The main issues in the case revolved around whether insurance agents Curran and Sykes were acting with actual authority given by Travelers Insurance or if they were acting with express authority for their own gain. Travelers wanted to recoup their losses that they suffered in having to pay Lewis's claim. Curran and Sykes didn't feel that they should be held liable for the loss because they were doing what was required and normally practiced on the job. The agents had already recognized and accepted the authority to give oral binders to insurance applicants, as they had submitted more than 300 claims during the years that they had worked with Travelers Insurance Company. They had no reason to suspect that anything had changed, so why should they be responsible in this case?
They claimed that in the agency contract it stated, authority to bind the company and/or to issue and renew policies of insurance pertaining to marine lines is not covered by this contract, but may be extended specifically by an authorized representative of the company in writing. The agents argued that they had the apparent authority to orally bind coverage to Lewis and that the company's backdating policy granted them that authority to do so while pending confirmation of Travelers. In a previous ruling, the trial court found the agents did not have apparent authority to bind coverage and had to reimburse Lewis for the amount of the loss. In the cross-claim against the agents by Travelers, the trial court gave judgment to Travelers that the agents did not have the apparent authority and required them to reimburse Travelers for the amount of the loss. The agents then appealed.
Chief Justice Winthrop delivered the opinion of the court, in which he found in the case of Lewis versus Travelers Insurance, Travelers Insurance Company was in fact responsible to pay out the insurance claim that was filed by Lewis. It would have been unreasonable for Lewis to assume that the oral binder he received from the insurance agents who were acting on Travelers' behalf wasn't valid. Lewis took the words of those agents and therefore didn't look any further for insurance representation. Lewis wasn't informed that his claim could later be denied, and thus he thought his insurance plan was active and in effect during the time of his loss. And for those reasons, Travelers Insurance Company agreed and accepted the judgment that was granted in favor of Lewis. In the cross-claim filed by Travelers Insurance agents against Curran and Sykes, the opinion of the court was to reverse the judgments of the lower court and remand the matter back to trial court, in which a judgment could be issued in favor of the insurance agents. Chief Justice Winthrop in the Supreme Court found that the agents were acting with implied authority that was granted by Travelers Insurance Company, being as the company practice of backdating policies imported the ability and authority of their agents to give oral binders. Therefore, the agents were given authority to do an act based off the written and spoken actions of Travelers Insurance in order to reasonably meet the requirements and or desires of travelers.